Hey everyone, sorry that it's taken me so long to get this to you. I've kind of been working through some of my own emotional stuff in my personal life, and I was worried that if I tried to do this creative writing exercise, that too much of like the personal stuff would come up. So I think I just needed to like work through some things before we started talking about this. So if you have the Just a Phase moon planner, you will notice that for the Sagittarius full moon, there is a creative writing exercise, and calling it like creative writing divination. And it's really kind of eerie how this works. Basically, what we're doing is you are picking a question just like you would when you're sitting down to do a tarot reading. And then you're going to set that question aside, try not to think about it, and then we're going to do this creative writing exercise. And by the end of it, you might have an answer to your question, or probably will have an answer to your question. So let's jump into the planner. The first part of this exercise is writing down a question that you seek an answer for. So, of course, for you, you're going to pick something that is personal to you, and something that you're looking for guidance or help with. For the demonstration purposes, I'm just going to write down that we want a message for the collective at this time. Okay, so our question is just gonna be, what does the collective need to know at this time? But for you, this can be anything. It can be like something that you need help with in your personal life. It can be just guidance, general guidance. It can be something to do with the full moon. What is being illuminated for you at the time of the full moon, or what you should be releasing for the waning moon. Anything that comes to your mind. The point of this exercise is to not think about it too much. This is just the first things that come to your mind. And I even want you to set a timer so that so that you know that you have limited time, so that you're not overthinking things. Okay, so next you're going to just pick a random object that you see. Like, look around your room, whatever strikes your fancy, pick it. I'm going to use this incense burner that I was using last night on stream. That's going to be my object. So the next thing is you're going to use the lines right here to make a list of words that describe your object. Again, don't think about it, just whatever the first thing that comes to mind. This can be like color, texture. What does it sound like when you tap on it? How does it make you feel? Just don't think about it. Everything that comes into your mind, just dump it onto the list here. I recommended in the planner to set a timer for 5 minutes, but just for the sake of demonstration, I've got my timer set for 3 minutes. That went way quicker than I thought. Okay, so these are my words. It's made of brass. It's heavy, like it's really heavy. I think that this is a lion, like a Chinese lion that's on the top of it. I think it's sentimental to me. So like whenever I look at it, I think of my grandmother because my grandmother used to own it. It's ashy because there are literally ashes in it. When I light incense, it's hot. But when it's not in use, it's very cool to the touch. I was trying to figure out, there are images on the side here, and I really can't tell. It made me think of a phoenix, and because we're talking about ashes, that's just the first thing that came to mind. So phoenix, like it has an aroma, even though it's not in use. Like I can still smell the like residual incense that were in it. Usually there's smoke coming out of it. I think of resin, like I put resins in it. I think of the air element, so it's airy. It has 3 legs. When I wrote 3-legged, I was like, oh man, that's gonna be really hard to include in a story. Pride, like I don't know, I have this very like proud feeling of it. Um, on top of the sentimentality because my grandmother owned it, but there's also just this like I just think it's so cool, and I just really love having it. It's sacred. I consider it sacred. I use it in ceremony. It is a sensory experience. And it looked like, so one side is like some sort of bird, which is what I was guessing was a phoenix. And the other side, there's like trees, rocks, another bird. I really have no idea what that is. Another bird, some more trees. So there's like this whole scene on there. I don't know how I can like emphasize to like actually figure out what's on there, but it just felt like I put scenery for just because there's this nice little landscape here, and it kind of feels like you're going on a journey, like because the two sides are different, so it must be telling some sort of story. Okay, so now that we have our words, we are going to set another timer for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm probably going to do 10 minutes. So what you have to do is write a story, just anything that comes to mind. It can just be like, once upon a time, there was this three-legged ghost. I don't know, like whatever comes to your mind. And the point is you want to use all of the words on your list in the story and try to do that within 10 to 15 minutes. So don't think about it too much. Just literally any words that come out of your brain, put them down on the paper. Okay, so I'm going to set my timer for 10 minutes. You could maybe start with 10 minutes, and then if like you're kind of on a roll, set a timer for 5 minutes and like keep going and finish up. Okay. Um so part of this exercise, this is a really good exercise and practice of like totally separating your ego from things and not to judge what you're writing. Just let everything like free flow and come out. Okay, so let's read our story. Once upon a time, there was a three-legged ghost. While most ghosts like to haunt the graveyard, this ghost preferred to spend most of his time at the church. He enjoyed floating airily up and down the aisles of pews amongst the sacred smoke of worship. The people's voices hung thick in the air like resin, while he danced amongst them as they sang. Their words of praise hung with him all week. He was proud of the children, enjoyed watching them grow, following along their journey until the next generation came to be. Some of them eventually joined him, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, to unexpectedly continue living on a never-ending story they once thought would end with their last breath. But there is so much more to experience and so many more ceremonies to indulge in the afterlife. Every now and then, his heart weighs heavy with the loneliness and the lack of senses his ethereal being can no longer feel. He misses the heat of the sun on his skin or the cool drops of a summer rain. Just once more, he would like to experience the aroma of fresh baked bread or a slow cooked meal on the stove. But nothing gives him more pride than to see the living overcome obstacles, create new things, or aspire to dream. Although he may sometimes get sentimental about his own life, nothing gives him more pleasure than overseeing the humans like a proud lion sitting atop his brass statue, protecting, witnessing, and encouraging their hearts full of hope when they are down. So that's our story. And then, when you turn the page, after you've written your short story, go back through it and circle any words that you used more than once. You may also feel called to circle words or phrases that jump out to you for some reason. So I did notice that I use pride a lot. I was supposed to use it once because it was one of my words down here, but I noticed I think I used it more than once. So I'm going to use a different color here. Where was it? Well, I used pride and proud. And there was like an underlying theme of like ceremony, sacred, worship. I think I used church, sacred. And then there was also, it was a lot of like, I mean, I know we're doing an exercise that is using the senses. What do you see, feel, touch when you think of this object? But there was very much a like experiencing the pleasures of life. There were themes of pride, the sacred, and like themes of connecting with spirit, whether that is through church or ceremony or and also like experiencing the pleasures in life. So now, how does that answer our question? Let's go back to our question. which was, what does the collective need to know at this time? I think our story is a reminder to remember to experience the pleasures in life. We get so trapped in the day-to-day of the mundane, like sleep, wake up, eat, go to work, eat, come home, go to bed. It's like we do the same thing over and over and over again. And I think we forget to we forget to experience the like simple pleasures of life, like baking bread and using all of your senses to enjoy what you're eating and to be with the people that you love and really love them. I think most of the time, and I'm like calling myself out here, we just numb out just to like get through the end of the day, and then you wake up and you do it all over again. And I think the message here is that, and also a reminder that when we die, it's not the end, that there is more to our soul's existence than just this human experience. And our human experience is very short. So I think that we should do everything that we can to enjoy it while we're here. So that is the collective message from Spirit as according to this creative writing divination practice. Let me know if you tried this exercise yourself and what came up for you, if you feel comfortable sharing, because I know my personal one was pretty personal. So I hope that, remember not to think about it too much and to just experience, just let it flow. Like whatever comes out of your brain, just let it come out of your brain. We may never know why we have a three-legged ghost, but that's a story for another time. So thanks so much for watching and hanging out with me on the other side of the looking glass. I can't wait to see you again sometime. Man, our story is going to be about a three-legged ghost, isn't it?